Hey, what's going on, guys? Markel here. I want to do a brief live. I want to answer these questions real quick and get back to my vacation. Now, with that being said, let me start with this. I had someone ask me a question regarding um, secondary condition to their primary condition, and could the VA take their secondary condition away, although they're 100% PNT TDIU? Okay, I think people have PNT status or TNP status, as some of you guys call it for some reason I don't understand. But I think some of you all have that confused. So, permanent and total status basically means that the government believes whatever your disabilities are, you're never going to recover from. Okay, based upon the information you gave them, the doctors, and whatever medical exams and tests that you have, that's why they believe that. Now, it does not mean that you are free forever from the government investigating you. Uh, your condition has greatly improved over a period of time, maybe from surgery or from physical therapy or anything of that nature, to where they could take it away because they can. Even if you've had it for 20 plus years and they're able to show that you can do a lot more than you said you could do, or all of a sudden you feel because you got it 20 years and you PNT that now you're gonna go out and get a job that you hadn't gotten the last 20 years that you had PNT. I'm sorry, TDIU. No, that's not what that means. Okay, but I want to get back into social media real quick. All right, because there's a story that's going to come out regarding a YouTuber, right? And they're doing live shows. I'm trying to think of the hours because I just read the article. They were doing live shows twice a day, 3 and 4 hours between each live show. Okay, for 6 days a week. Now let's do the math. Let's just say that they were doing 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours at night. So that's 6 hours a day for 6 days. That's 36 hours a week. They can work a job, and the government just charged them. Now I'm going to wait for the article to see what all happened, and then I'm gonna post it on the community page. But I'm saying all that, man, to tell you guys like this, and I've warned, and I've put out this warning before with social media. If you're on Social Security, and especially if you're TDIU, and I'm not talking to you guys who are 100% scheduler and you PNT, you can go out and do pretty much whatever you want to do. But if you're 100% TDIU, you're just 100% scheduler without TDIU, or you're on Social Security, or you're on SSI. Please understand what you told the government you can and you cannot do. Because if you're going to get out there on social media and you're going to start telling people all the stuff that you're doing, right? Like someone drove from California to New York. They're the only person in the car. They documented the entire time they went from California all the way to New York. When just, let's say, 6 months earlier, you told Social Security you could barely leave your house, that somebody else drives you to your doctor's appointments, that you can barely walk, you can barely stand up, and you have all these issues. Now, how do you think Social Security or the VA is going to look at that document that you put out, or that video that you put out, excuse me, on social media, explaining you driving from California to New York when you just told them 6 months earlier you had all these issues? This is what I mean, man, when I say they're coming after people. Give you guys another example. There's a lot of vets right now who are traveling. Okay. Let's say again, you told Social Security you can only go out of your house 2 days out of the week or 3 days out of the week because of your back, and you're normally in bed most of the time. You don't really travel anywhere, you don't do anything. Okay. A year later, and supposedly now you've had no improvement, you're now traveling from Costa Rica to Panama to Brazil to Colombia. Now you're headed to the Philippines. Now, if I'm an employee and I'm looking at this on your social media, as you told me, you can't even leave your house How do you think that's going to work out? All I'm saying, man, is whatever you're telling these people, you need to be truthful. Because if you can go out and still do all these things, then that's what you need to tell them. Because when they're investigating you based upon what you say and what the doctors have wrote down that you told them that you can and cannot do. I don't think people realize how serious it is when you're getting money from the federal government and you're out doing the exact opposite of what you're telling people that you can't do. You understand what I'm saying, guys? Real talk, man. If you're telling these people you cannot work, but you're out every day on YouTube like you working a job. No. Or you on every social media platform doing everything like you working a job. No. Not when you on Social Security and you on VA. Man, look, I don't know how many warnings I'll have to put out there before some of you all realize, before it's too late, and they're looking at you, because it only takes one person with a camera. Everybody got cell phones with cameras now. And anybody who's jealous of your situation, who knows what your situation is, can videotape you, send that information to the Inspector General's office, and they're going to watch you for at least a year and a half to 2 years to see exactly what it is you're doing. And if they feel that you are not doing what you told them that you were doing with your disability, and they charge you with fraud, they're going to have the evidence there for you to look at yourself doing all these things you said you could not do. So you guys out there, man, y'all be careful when you're filing for these things and you're telling the government, you're telling the doctor, you're telling your psychiatrist, you can't do these things, and you guys go right out there and do the exact opposite. When they take you to jail, man, you got nobody to blame but the person in the mirror. Nobody. Can't get mad at the government. You can't get mad at anybody but yourself for doing what you're doing. If you're not disabled, you're better off just working a job. It is what it is. Everybody's not going to be 100%. But to lie, man, and try to cheat and try to do all this stuff, I'm telling you guys, man, they're going to catch up with you. Somebody you know you may piss off. And you know how jealous people get. You're going to mess around one day, might be when you're drinking or high, weed or whatever. You're going to say, man, I'm so glad I'm getting Social Security. I ain't got to work. And they go, you getting Social Security? How you getting Social Security? Ain't nothing wrong with you. Next thing you know, you being investigated. Of course, you don't know that. There's some of you all being investigated right now, and you have no clue. No clue. If you think the VA and Social Security are not aware of what you all do, that you don't ping when you go on social media, okay? That you don't explain to people what you're doing, how you vent or how you decompress. This is why you talk to your doctors. Your doctors are your CYA. And if you don't do your CYA, man, that's just going to come back on you. There won't be no excuses for your CYA. Cover your ass. Okay? I'm trying my best to put it out there, man, so people understand. You out taking a worldwide tour all over the world, but you just told Social Security you can't work. That don't fly. That don't fly, man. You can't be on a plane 4 hours here, 3 days later, you're on a plane again, 6 hours later, you're on another plane. But you just told these people you can't work. Think about how that sounds. You just told Social Security you can't do any of these things, but yet you in another country documenting what you're doing as you walk around, no limp, the camera's not bouncing up and down, stabilization ain't that good yet on cameras, that they can't tell that you got no limp, you've been walking for 20 minutes, you haven't took a break, nothing. But you just told Social Security you can't even get out of the bed and walk to the bathroom without somebody helping you. Come on, man. Come on, man. All I'm trying to do, man, is put information out there to keep some of y'all out of jail. Because I know there's a lot of people out there that's not as disabled as they claim that they are. They're just not. They're not. You look at some of the behavior and the things people do, and if you are on Social Security and VA, don't think that they're not seeing this and they just building the case. And you just gonna be another statistic that they put out there. Yep, we caught another one committing fraud. It's just the truth, man. What's up, K Mac? What's up, T Mix? Yes, they were a veteran. They were online. Like I said, 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon. And you can work 6 hours a day because that's working. That's not passive income, bro. If you online 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, and you do that 6 days a week, that's a job. What's stopping you from working a full-time job at that point? Hard to keep up with everything. What's up, Mr. Miles? How you doing? You're talking to Mr. Miles. It's all good, K-Mac. Okay, guys, so I'm not going to be on, like I said, it's going to be brief, man. I got this question, and they're like, okay, man, I think I might be getting followed by somebody, maybe watching me. And I'm like, what were you doing? That was my question. Well, what are you doing? Because if you're not doing anything wrong, you're not worried about anybody following you. If you're being honest with these people and you're telling them what you're doing, you shouldn't worry about somebody following you, somebody reporting you, because you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Your psychiatrists know what you're doing. Your doctors know what you're doing. So you have nothing to fear. But if you're doing stuff on the slide, and again, I'm not talking to people who are 100% scheduler P&T. If you only 100% scheduler P&T, this conversation is not for you. It is not for you. But if you 100% TDIU, I don't care if you P&T or not. If you're 100% without P&T, or especially if you on SSDI or SSI, I'm talking directly to you. Directly to you. Because you are the people they're coming after in 2023. Make no mistake about it. They're coming. And if you're not doing what you said when you filled out that application, that you can't leave the house for 5 days out of the week, that you can't go nowhere without somebody helping you, that you can't even cross the street without help, and you out driving a car, shopping, and doing everything on your own, you are the people they're coming after this year. All I can do is put the warning out there. You can go to many YouTube channels. You can go to the local news. You can go to the world news. That $80 billion that they gave to the IRS, that money that they gave to the VA as well as Social Security, is to catch people committing fraud and cheating the government. That's all I can do is put the warning out there, guys. That's it. But all right, guys, that's it for this video, man. Like I said, it was going to be brief. I just wanted to get this out there so you guys know what is coming. So until the next time, guys, that's it. I'm out. Peace. Enjoy your day.